In this video, we'll be working with the file system in Python. So the first thing we're going to do is import the OS library. And once we do that, we can check what our current working directory is. So I'll just make a variable called current. Set to OS. And we want get cwd for get current working directory. And then if we go ahead and print that, and we can see that we are working in a directory called working inside of our documents folder. Now changing directories is very easy. Since we already imported the OS library, we can use the change dir method. So let's do os.chdr for change directory. And what we can do is we can pass in the full path from the root. I want users, and I'm logged in as actually Kish stats. And let's just go to documents, which is going to be just one level above where we're already working inside of our working folder. But any absolute path will always work. So let's go ahead and get this again. And if we go ahead and print that out, first we save the file and rerun it. So now we've switched from our working directory to the documents directory. And creating a new directory will be very easy. So just we'll see what we have in here so far. The only thing we have is a couple of files. Actually, let me back out of here. So in our documents folder, the only folder that we currently have in there is the working directory. So what we can do with this is we can use the make dir method, so os.mkdir. And we'll just call this new. And we'll go ahead and save that and then go back into our original folder and run the same script. And then if we back out of here and then go back, we can see that our new directory has been created called new. And let's go back into our working directory. The next thing that we will be doing will be to list the directories. That is very easy. We call the list dir method. Then if we just rerun the file, actually, let's go ahead and comment out this new, since we've already created it. If we create a new directory that already exists, it's going to give us an error. And just go ahead and print the list directory. So we do have a dot file. Those are usually hidden, and they're, in this case, it was created automatically by the operating system, but the other two are working and new, which are the directories that we actually created inside the documents folder. And then let's say, so we created this new directory called new. We can also change the name very easily. Let's say we decided we want to rename it. We just say call the rename method. And the first item that we need passed in is what it currently is. So we're going to rename new to, let's just call it, we'll just call it all years. This will be used in a later example. So if we go ahead and actually let's run this before we list our directories so we can see that we have indeed changed it. And then now we just have working in all years. The OS library can also be used to remove files. So quickly what I'm going to do is use the open function to create a file that we're just going to use the OS module to delete. So let's call open. We'll just call this myfile.txt. And we'll set the mode to W for write. And then we'll immediately close it. We're just going to create an empty file that we're not going to do anything with. So if I go ahead and save that, and let's go ahead and run it. Okay, and then when we list everything inside the directory, we see that we have created myfile.txt. If we just back up to the previous directory, list everything that's there, we'll see that we have myfile.txt with 0 bytes, meaning it's just an empty file. Okay, so let's go back into where we were working. And let's just go ahead and call the remove command. And it is just as simple as that, since we're already inside that directory. We've already created this file, so we don't need to touch it again. And then let's move our list directory function below deleting the file, so we have proof that we did indeed delete it. Okay, and then we're back to where we started. And then we can also use the remove dir method. So I'm going to just go in here and then make a directory. Let's just call this newbie. Then go ahead and list that. Here's our new folder that was created. So let's return back over to here, and then we've already done this, so let's just comment it out for now. So on os.rmdir, and we're going to pass in newbie. And if I save that and go ahead and run it, let's go back into our working folder. And so now we have just these three folders, the localized dot folder, along with working in all years.